Paquetá or Paquetá, however people give me shit all the time for saying Paquetá. I thought that's how it's said. To Manchester City. I think they are in need of some midfield reinforcements. I think they didn't get them the way that they were looking to in Kovacic and Mateus Nunes. So I think he's consistently playing for West Ham and consistently playing really, really well. The game-fixing, yellow card, gambling stuff all seems to be gone.
Yeah.
And would that transfer have happened if those didn't come up? Maybe. And now that they're gone, I think it definitely makes a ton of sense. I think West Ham are in like a very positive position. Like they're playing well. They're going to potentially get European football. And I think they'll be in a comfortable spot to look to sell and like start building, maybe use those funds across a few different younger midfielders. And I think clearly Pep wanted him last time. I think the flair he has.
I think he steps in and plays the Julian Alvarez role, and he just got a little bit more technical security than Alvarez does. He's a little bit better in possession. He doesn't. My problem with Alvarez in that role, and I think it was kind of smart for Pep. Like a lot of times, great coaches put a player somewhere so they can learn responsibilities that they didn't know previously. Like Alvarez always just been a goal scorer.
Yeah.
Now he's kind of playing as a second striker, having to pick the ball up in different positions, which is going to make him a better overall player. But I think long term, the ceiling for that position is a Paquetá type of player who's kind of a midfielder with that attacking prowess. And I think he would be fit perfectly in the City. They have no problem spending another $100 million on another attacker. So
they did spend. I guess they just for the first time in a little bit they didn't really spend well because you look at the lineup, it's the exact same lineup. It's just Gvardiol seems to be a miss.
Gvardiol spent $100 million on him. They don't play him. And then, Kovacic and Nunez combined another 100. I mean, they basically swapped Kovacic
and
for
Doku.
Palmer, and Doku hasn't been great.
I know. You don't see them. It's almost tough to miss because you're, in theory, just bringing talent into a system that works so well.
And with players who always have space, always have time
it's
on
hard
the
to miss. And it's pretty impressive that they've the exact same starting lineup. Minus Gundogan that they did last year, and Mahrez, obviously. But he's ready to take that next step in his career.
No, I think he'll definitely get sold. I mean, I think West Ham are... Some of these clubs, I feel like their fans think, especially West Ham, they're like, oh, we don't need to sell Declan Rice. We won the UECL, the fucking... yes, you do. Yeah. Otherwise, you don't sell Declan Rice. You have a worse season this year, and then Declan Rice's value's gone down. Right. Your club hasn't gone anywhere. That's West Ham should be fighting for Conference League. That's how they kind of. That's why I think when UEFA created the Conference League, it was genius. It gave something for 100%. Some of these clubs to continue.
They're not going to be in the top 4 race, so give them their own race of their 100%.
own. 100%.
With
and
a
they can continue to be in that race without having to potentially give their club financial instability.
By
selling a Declan Rice and then a Paquetá, that gives the club financial stability, 100%. Which is more important than trying to be in a top 4 race you're not going to be in.
I agree. Yeah, I think it's a perfect move and timing for both clubs. It's time for him to take that next step. He gets into that City side and starts performing really well. He's a no-brainer starter in the midfield for Brazil at the World Cup.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they have a lot of players who are, I don't know. I feel like it's tough for Brazil because there's a lot of players who are really good at the same things, and then there's certain profiles they don't have. That's why Richarlison has always been a key for them because he's the only player they have who can play kind of like a target man center forward. Yeah. Even though that's not even really his best, but he's got the physicality for it.
My only worry is a player like him is Pep doesn't like to take people's flair from them, but it's a regimented system.
Yeah.
And
there's a little less free. Well,
Mahrez seems like a creative, but he did his job. He just did it exceptionally well.
Well, yeah, he also, he had to change his game from, when he was at Leicester, he was really, he was a right winger, but he was really more playing as a second striker off of Vardy. They were really playing a lot of combination play. And Mahrez had to become a true out-and-out touchline winger.
Stayed outside, yeah.
And, if Paquetá comes in and is just going to be used as kind of a De Bruyne second option to De Bruyne, De Bruyne is the only player who has real freedom in that system. Yeah. They're not going to be able to both have the kind of freedom that Paquetá is used to. I agree with you. It could be an issue, but I think it's also at a certain point, how much longer is De Bruyne going to be at City?
That's what I'm saying. I think it's important to start getting those replacements.
So I think maybe Paquetá comes in, plays the Alvarez role. De Bruyne's probably got one more season at City, and then Paquetá kind of takes that role over, or Pep leaves.